Target apologized after its clown costume was accused of resembling racist blackface performances, only for shoppers to discover an ice-style costume modeled by a white child. The first costume came from Target's Hyde and EEK boutique Halloween line. It featured an orange and black outfit, gloves, and a dark mesh mask with a large white smile. Social media users quickly compared the design and the child.
Come on, man. Come on, y'all. All right, listen, y'all. Target is back getting on people's nerves again. We've been here before. Now, as far as I know, there's supposed to be this boycott on Target. People ain't supposed to be shopping at Target because of the shit that Target been doing. We know when they rolled back on DEI in 2025. Now, we know that that was a direct result of Target basically siding with the statements that Trump had made, and, you know, they were rolling back on DEI, and they did a whole bunch of other things along with that, getting rid of some people who part of the diversity team, people who would make decisions to prevent stuff like this. And since then, nothing but weird shit has been happening to Target, right? Here's one of them. The new thing now is Target playing in our motherfucking faces. That's with their Halloween costume. Now, if you have not seen this circling around, I will show you right now. Target came out with this minstrel kid costume for Halloween. Yeah. Yep. It just shows that Target ain't learned shit. Also, you know, this is a direct result, again, of them cutting so many programs because they were so focused on not going with DEI. Here, I'll show you right here. It says Target announced the end of some diversity efforts last week, citing the importance of staying in step with evolving external landscape while reiterating its commitment to inclusion and belonging. So, well, let's check out this wonderful lady here who is going to tell us all about it.
We told you all that Target didn't give a damn about black folks. And y'all didn't give a damn because they got a couple of black folks' products in their store. Or because, according to your Google research, white women benefited more from DEI. But when Trump was threatening...
And that is a fact. They do say that white women benefit more from DEI, which is one of the reasons why people didn't understand their reason for doing it, you know? But we all know who they targeting when they say it. We all know when they say it, who they talking about. DEI is like the racist bigots' way of saying the N-word without any backlash. DEI has become their way to call somebody stupid. DEI has been their way to call somebody unqualified. We know what it is. We know where it's gotten. So we understand where it's at.
Companies, corporations, and institutions like universities to drop DEI because in this administration's mind, they mean black folks and people of color. Target was gone with the wind, but y'all still shop there. This is a child's costume that Target had marked as a circus clown.
Insane. Insane. Now, when you look at this, you cannot tell me that you're trying to tell me nobody looked at this and said, this is offensive. Wait a minute. You know why? Nobody did. Because guess what? They all gone. They all gone, man. The people that would have been there to say, I don't think y'all should put this out because this is definitely offensive, they're gone.
Does that look like a fucking circus clown to y'all? Because these are what circus clowns look like to me. And I'm not even mad at Target for being exactly who it is that they showed us that they were. So let's read Target's apology and I'll explain how a $75 billion corporation like Target didn't make no mistake. They said, as a company, we know we got this wrong and we are deeply sorry. The costume is offensive and should have never been a part of our assortment. Now, mind you, Newsweek quoted that as Target, but didn't quote specifically who from Target said that. And let this be a reminder that that costume was not from a third party. That was from Target's boutique collection, which for a $75 billion company means it had to go through a chain of command for approval. Not only this, Halloween is one of the biggest and most lucrative American holidays, where Target is competing with other corporations like Amazon and Walmart, which means that on a corporate level, you are planning for something like a Halloween a year prior. You have not only a marketing team of people, a merchandising team of people, but you also have production planning because you have to do a photo shoot. And between the marketing and merchandising teams alone, there had to have been a spreadsheet of ideas for the year. Because again, this costume, wrong picture. This costume was a Target branded costume. Let's wake it up some more, shall we? This is Kara Sylvester. She is the Executive Vice President and Chief Merchandising Officer. And reading directly from Target's corporate site, it says that she leads the teams that steer the retailer's design and style-driven curation strategy across assortment, product design, own brands, partner collaborations, and merchandising capability. In addition to the fact that merchandising is an umbrella, which means that it carries multiple buckets that get us to the point of putting something on the shelf. You have the buying side of merchandising, which in Target's words, not mine, evaluates the best products around the globe for consumers, which allows them to set the strategies that increase their profits and sales by staying aware of the latest trends, optimizing pricing, elevating presentation and promotion. Then you have merchandise planning, because for a $75 billion company, there is planning involved. And this one is interesting because for a company that has gone consistently viral for Black people feeling disrespected by it, merchandise planning leads the financial and forecasting decisions that impact their business's performances. Then you have merchandising presentation and also merchandising process and operation. So how many people do you believe are in the merchandising department to give it the green light and the thumbs up?
You think about what she said there about them having this history of basically pissing Black people off for the things that they've been doing and the things that they've said or lack thereof. You would think that this would be a company that decided, hey, let's hone in and focus here because we don't want to piss nobody off again. We know how much we lost during that time. We don't want to piss nobody off again. But the problem here is I think that they just don't respect it. They don't respect it because maybe when it did happen, they saw that people saw it happen and they got over it. They saw it happen and they got over it. Now, I won't sit here and say that for everybody, not going to Target is super easy. There's some people that not going to Target is very hard for them because maybe it's the one store that's in their area. You know, everybody has different situations. But at the end of the day, when it's time to stand on something, you got to stand on it, man. By any means possible, because the other alternative is to continuously be disrespected. That's the only alternative, right? Is either you're going to accept the disrespect or you're going to do something about it. And collectively, that's the only way you do something about it. And if you don't respect yourself, how you going to expect Target to come respect your ass? This is not the first time, man. And the cycle just continues. We say that we're sorry and, we apologize. That wasn't the right decision. And then they move on and do that shit again. The issue is y'all not putting nothing in place for y'all to understand these issues. Because honestly, I could just say for myself, if I see that it's offensive because I know what it looks like. But honestly, there could be somebody who doesn't. And with that said, that's why you have these teams. That's why y'all supposed to have these teams that know this shit. If you don't got nobody that could look into the issues, if you don't got nobody that could look into the things that could be deemed offensive on that team, this is the type of stuff that you risk. When they decided to distance themselves from DEI and to publicly do it and say it and stand on it, this is part of what they lost with it.
You haven't even gotten to all of the people that are in the marketing department and all of the people that were a part of the pre-production planning of the photo shoot for this costume, and all of the people who are a part of the production from choosing the little Black boy as the model, directing him to be positioned in this manner.
Right there. You can't look at this and say this is not deliberate. Even from the pose that they have the kid doing to the hat to the side, like, come on, man. Come on, man. They playing in our faces right now. Kids glow under blacklight circus clown Halloween costume bodysuit. Hide and eek. This is insane. This is insane.
This as the final photo. But all of those hundreds of people at that $75 billion corporation just made a mistake. Wonder if Jay-Z will have a freestyle about this one.
Crazy. This comment said, my son is a model for Target. I'm an ex-Target designer. They used to run these things by Black internal teams. They let my ass go 3 years ago. I am so disappointed and also not completely shocked. I'm conflicted to let him keep modeling. Again, when you decide that you want to cut these corners, you want to cut these pieces off because you feel like it's a waste. So having someone there because you don't believe in DEI and you say that you want to distance yourself from that, you also start to cut off these pieces that are needed. You need to have somebody, a team that's there to greenlight things that they deem are not sensitive. If you got something as insensitive as this, bro, like, you're wildin'. And for Target, it's such a shock because it's like, damn, y'all should know better at this point. You know what I mean? But got another comment here saying, when someone shows you who they are, believe them.
Target apologized after its clown costume was accused of resembling racist blackface performances, only for shoppers to discover an ice-style costume modeled by a white child. The first costume came from Target's Hyde and EEK boutique Halloween line. It featured an orange and black outfit, gloves, and a dark mesh mask with a large white smile. Social media users quickly compared the design and the child.
Come on, man. Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. I don't care who modeled it. I don't care who did it. You can't tell me that nobody created this as some sick kind of joke, man. Come on.
Models posed to images from old minstrel shows. Many were especially upset because Target chose a black child to model it. Target removed the costume and apologized, saying the company got this wrong. It also promised to review how the product was approved. However, the apology only led people to examine Target's other costumes more closely. They then noticed a law enforcement costume listed as an FBI outfit. It included dark clothing, gloves, and a face covering. Critics argued that real FBI agents do not usually dress that way and said the costume looked more like images of masked ICE officers. People also pointed out that a white child was used to model this costume. Now, many are asking who these products were created for and why nobody at Target questioned them before they went on sale.
Yeah.
Target just confirmed that a Halloween costume they were selling for this upcoming Halloween season evoked racist minstrel imagery. They called it offensive and pulled it back. It's not as if this costume got approved by one racist person. It went through designers, buyers, reviewers, and executives before reaching that website. That's institutional unconscious bias. When an organization's processes consistently fail to catch racial harm because the people in those processes lack the lived experience to recognize it. This is why I'm constantly saying we have to learn to listen to what Black people and people of color are saying. Because if you are not in that lived experience, then you don't know to catch it. And Target has consistently made mistakes like this. It is clearly an institutional failure. It is very obviously something that they don't have in their system to catch. So what happens is these things continue to happen and they say, we're sorry, and they pull it back. Well, that needs to...
They're sorry, pull it back, and then they just continue on, and then it happens again because they're not taking the steps that are necessary to fix it, which would be to get a team and have a team that can understand these type of things. You see what they said their solution was? They're gonna look at the process of approving these items. That we don't give a shit about the process, man. You got to get to the point where you figure out how do you prevent something like this from happening. Fuck the process. Your process is flawed. Get some new people that are going to be in there that can realize and notice these things. That's where you start with it.
Not be enough. You have to change the system and put people with the appropriate lived experience in there so that they can start seeing like, hey, wait a minute.
Facts.
This is inappropriate. There are so many people that have to see this. It has to be approved, as I was just saying. It has to have designers. Many people play a role as this goes down the chain before it ends up on the website and offers to be sold. When finally people with the lived experience see it and are like, whoa, wait a minute, this is evoking racial history and we need to do something differently. The most powerful thing that we can do to any organization is choose to no longer engage and give them our finances, give them our dollars. Once you do that, then that's how change will happen.
Yeah.
Target has consistently shown that they're not willing to change their systems to involve people with the appropriate lived experience, so they continue to make this mistake. I'm trying to tell you, this is not by accident. The system is designed in a particular way, and that system doesn't catch the plight of people that look like Black and brown people.
Taking your dollars away is the only thing that's going to solve this. I'm going to be honest with y'all. Just not shopping there, period, is just how it's going to have to be. That's what has to happen. And for the people that feel like, it's hard, and Target is like the main place that you go to, I get it. This isn't a like, you got to do this, you have to do this. If you don't do it, you're not. People have different circumstances, I can't be the one to tell people don't go to Target because I don't know what people's experiences are. I don't know what people's situations are. But I think everybody can make their own choice, whether this offends them enough to say, you know what, I'm going to put in the effort to not go to Target, or I'm going to put in the effort to go to Target less if that's where you start. You know, I'm going to put in the effort to find an alternate store and see how I like it. You know, it all takes somebody starting from somewhere and starting the effort, because they continuously have shown that they don't give a shit, and they're going to keep doing this because they're not going to put anything in place to fix this. That's what they're going to keep doing, man. And, you know, this is not their first rodeo. It's not the first time they went through this shit. It's not the first time they did something that was offensive, came back and apologized, and then continued on with the same old bullshit. This is what happens. This is the Target we know. Before I go, let's real quick talk about minstrel shows, right? For people who don't know. And I'll pull up something here so we can take a look at this. Just to educate people on minstrel shows and why this is offensive. Because some people may be out there and saying, I don't get it, I don't see it. The minstrel shows became enormously popular in the United States beginning in the 1830s. White performers would darken their faces and perform exaggerated versions of black people for predominantly white audiences. So for the minstrel shows, for these things, the reason why it was so offensive is because these people would come out here, they would put on the black faces, and they would act out what they thought black people did. Put it on their faces, act out what they thought black people did, what they looked like, how they acted, and they would do this in front of a white audience. So they repeated recurring stereotypes, portraying black people as a bunch of things, unflattering things, unintelligent, lazy, childish, dishonest, cowardly. They would hypersexualize black people, and all this was in the sake of entertainment. And the way they would do this is they would do this in blackface, and it would look like this. I mean, let's go back to it. Look, you would have, look at the comparison. Obviously, to have the kid, black kid at that, you got the hat to the side, and then you have that pose. You can't tell me that nobody caught this. Y'all don't have a system in place that's going to catch stuff like this because y'all don't care. Target doesn't care. As long as they're profitable, they don't care. The only time Target will make a difference and they would do anything different is if those profit margins get hit. It just is what it is. Now, this is a side-by-side comparison of minstrel character Jim Crow and new clown costume sold by Target. So if you look at this and you tell me you don't see why this could be offensive, I don't know what to tell you. Again, the point that the young lady made in the beginning where she said, this is not what a clown looks like, okay? This is not a clown outfit. I don't care what people try to say. This is not it. They said Target's new kids costume designed by Hide and Eek Boutique featured a clown-like outfit with a chevron print top. The costume came with black gloves, a mesh mask with a wide grin, and a tiny top hat secured to the mask. People on social media expressed outrage in comments and posts over the similarity to minstrel performers who made fun of black people in the 19th century. Some online accused Target of purposely selling the costume and ignoring its racist inspiration. Others highlighted that the child in the picture was purposely posed to look like Jim Crow, a minstrel character popularized by Thomas Dartmouth Rice, who was widely known as the father of minstrelsy. And it goes on to say Target faced widespread boycotts for pulling back from diversity, equity, and inclusion efforts. The costume has now been taken off Target's website and app. And again, the fact that Target just keep wanting to learn this lesson and keep doing this shit over, they just come out and apologize. It's beyond fucking comprehension for me. Here goes Target's response, right? They say, as a company, we got this wrong and we are deeply sorry. We've heard this before. We know this is especially hurtful for our black guests, team members, and partners, Target wrote in a post on social media. Removing the costume is an important first step, and we are looking closely at how this happened and what needs to change to ensure this won't happen again. No shit. How about y'all hire a couple of people who can catch something like this? How about y'all hire a department or hire a couple of people who are able to see this? It's insane. It says blackface and minstrel characters became popular, and as the racist art form spread, performers across the country brought it to new heights on the stage, in theaters, on radio, and eventually on TV and film. Many harmful stereotypes about black people today are rooted in those racist impressions. This is just insane, man. But y'all let me know how y'all feel about it. My stance has always been the same on Target. I have done my absolute best to avoid Target at all costs. I also hate Walmart, so I try my best to avoid both. And if I have to make the decision, I go to Walmart if I have to. But, you know, again, I can't tell people what to do. But yeah, Target ain't it, man. They keep doing this bullshit and they ain't learning from it. The best way to approach this is to take your dollars away. That's it. That's all. I'ma holler at y'all.
It's not enough. Few solid niggas left, but it's not enough. Few bitches that'll really step, but it's not enough. Say you bigger than myself, but it's not enough. I get on their ass. Yeah, somebody gotta do it. I made them niggas mad. Yeah, somebody gotta do it. I take the G-Tag. Yeah, watch a nigga do it. We survived outside, all from the music, nigga. What are we? They like, what he on? This the Alpha and Omega, bitch. Welcome home. This is not a song. This a revelation. How to get a nigga gone.